Tennessee Williams, when he writes about Lord Byron in the kind of acid trip play Camino Real, Byron's last line as he leaves Camino Real is, "Make journeys, attempt them, there's nothing else."
Constantinople, spanning the Bosphorus, centre of the Ottoman Empire. Arriving here, Byron wrote in Childe Harold, "Nor oft I've seen such sight, nor heard such song, as wooed the eye and thrilled the Bosphorus along." But he was always irreverent.
He said the difference between the British, or the English, and the Turkish were that the vices in fashion in England were whoring and drinking, whereas in Turkey they were sodomy and sherbet. So I'm rather looking forward to a bit of sodomy and sherbet myself while I'm here. Sorry, Granny, sorry, Mum.
Byron had avoided the predictability of standard grand tour destinations in favour of the more exotic. He discovered the imaginative possibilities of Turkey by going well off the beaten track.
I think this must be some kind of catalogue of what, first of all, is available in Constantinople. Byron and Hobhouse went to these kind of bars/pubs where boy dancers did beastly things, according to Hobhouse's descriptions, and he called them buggery shops. And they did kind of basic lap dances for guys, and then guys would take them off and fuck them. Here's one with the kind of Liberty at the Barricades hat. Or Father Christmas. Ooh, and a tattoo. I don't know whether he's been waxing, but he's got a little kind of bit of hair down the middle only, and one ball. Seems to be Turkish tradition.
For this beastly sight, we paid 55 piastres, 5 to the boys each, and 5 to all the fiddlers.
Half-mast.
Byron excitedly described the hammams as a marble paradise of sherbet and sodomy.
Oh, prisoner. Naked prisoner with a hard-on. You see, you can have fun in prison even in Ottoman Turkey. This is stories about various bathhouse boys, and they really are quite extraordinary. Here's a good one. Hamleki Ibrahim was once a young soldier of the Sultan's bodyguard division. He lies uncovered in bed or on the white marble floor of the halved. He never cares if the penis is too long or too big, but takes it in with the power of his youth without any complaint. He goes on all night until the sun rises without charge and becomes your fellow lover in bed. This much loyalty is more than you would expect from a naked bath masser. His nightly cost was 450 silver coins. To get the utmost enjoyment out of these nightly visits, he never hesitates to lie under his host and to entertain him with his arsehole. He's a passionate and valorous man. I mean it. So there you go.
It wasn't just the sex lives of the Ottoman Empire that fascinated Byron, but its power and politics.
Britannia.
He looked on Turkey's Sultan as the ruler of a vast, oppressive empire. But that didn't stop him from using his title to gain an introduction. Like him, I've wangled an invitation to stay at the British Embassy.
I sometimes thought I should have been an ambassador. I could have been an ambassador. I'd have been very good, very regal, or vice-regal at least. Good afternoon.
This building is on the same site as the embassy that Byron visited in 1810. It's now the Consulate General. And our man in Istanbul is called Jessica, and she's rather wonderful.
Let's go up the grand staircase.
My God, this is quite grand. Oh, here's a nice bit of furniture.
You like that? I thought you'd like that. We have our visitors book. Would you sign it for us, please?
Yes. Now then. I have a feeling somebody's watching me. Oh, it's Her Majesty, in very good shape. Fine-looking woman. She does look marvellous, but she's quite well hung, isn't she? I mean, not well. What do you say? Stacked. Good for her. Thank you, Your Majesty, for having me.
That's why you'll never make it into the diplomatic service.
No, because if I'd gone into the diplomatic, I wouldn't be like this now.
Right, this is our room. And then we've got 2 guest rooms up here. One that doesn't have a bathroom, one that does have a bathroom, that is yours.
Good, OK, see you all later. Bye, thanks a lot.
OK.
Cup of tea, please, someone. And a couple of belly dancers. Oh, Jessica, you are naughty. You haven't had the window cleaners in before the party.
Byron behaved rather bizarrely in Turkey, dressing up in strange costumes and generally ruffling local British feathers with his extreme mood swings. He found the Turks honest, but was appalled by their brutality and the sight of human heads on stakes. However, the timing of his visit couldn't have been better. The ambassador was about to have his farewell audience with the fearsome Sultan, and Byron got himself invited along.
Byron arrived in full kind of military regalia, not that he was ever in a regiment,
Superb.
with epaulettes and an extraordinary hat with feathers, only to discover that protocol in Turkey meant that even though he was a lord, he had to go behind this man called Canning, who was an ordinary person, and he had the most amazing hissy fit and stormed off. Anyway, he was obsessed by his position at this point.
So did he ever actually stay in the house, or
I
did
think
he
he
just
stayed
visit?
for 2 or 3 nights at first.
Excellent. So you really are treading in the footsteps.
Absolutely.
Excellent. But you're not going to do the bizarre uniform and...
Not tonight, no.
Please.
Versace all the way for me.
Excellent.
I think I'm going to have a bubble bath now. I've always longed to do a striptease at an embassy. Okay, that's enough. "200 years ago, more or less now, Byron would have been spending his first night in the embassy. I wonder what he was thinking about it all. He was such a conflicted character at this stage. It's hard to follow all the mood swings he goes through, from ecstasy to irritation. Again, Byron's charm and his rudeness are fascinating. You know, irresistibly charming and incredibly rude. So enemies and incredibly loyal friends only, nothing in the middle. Just the way we like it, really."
In Byron's day, the diplomatic issues were burning hot, and he was fascinated by them. Tonight, the biggies are all here. I think I'll see what I can do to help.
When Margaret Thatcher came here a few years back, she did something very funny. She quoted Lord Byron, saying there is no difference between the Turks and the English. And then some journalist looked up in Byron to see what the end of the quote was, and the quote actually was, "The fashions and vices are that the English love whoring and drinking, and the Turks love sodomy and sherbet." So she put her foot in it.
Well, I mean...
They don't like that anymore, it seems. Of course, he was quite enlightening in a way about Ottoman sexuality as well. But he said that the only difference between the English and the Turks are the English like whoring and drinking, and the Turks like sherbet and sodomy.
Wow.
This is something that he said?
Yes. So it's, you know, quite amusing.
I'm not sure that Byron was quite as inept as but he did eventually get to meet the Sultan. Event made little impression on him. Still, he saw straight through the Western cliché of the Turk as a base, unthinking heathen, and was impressed by Islamic science, education, and apparent honesty. But in the end, there was little here to fire his spirits, and within 4 days of meeting the Sultan, he moved on. The Hellespont, the entrance from the Mediterranean to the Black Sea, and the junction of Europe with Asia, certainly did fire Byron's imagination. Maybe because he had a withered leg, he kept wanting to prove himself physically, fencing, boxing, and above all, swimming. Here he staged one of his most memorable feats, swimming from one continent to the other.
I've been